Okay, what's up, guys? So, Russell Wilson has finally had enough as he has decided to grow a backbone and stand up for himself against all the negative, hateful comments coming his way in recent times. Honestly, the hate campaign against Wilson in the last few years has been unbelievable. Yeah, his play since leaving Seattle hasn't been up to par, but let's not forget who this man is. He's a Super Bowl champion, a 10-time Pro Bowler, a devoted father, and just an overall good family man who has never been in any sort of controversy. But that hasn't stopped him from being the butt end of many jokes recently, and the amount of people piling on Russ has been insane. Like, take a look at what Sean Payton said after Sunday's comeback win, and then also Richard Sherman's comments about Russ just a month earlier.
And again, I have a ton of respect for that organization. I spent 4 of my early years there, coordinating Super Bowl, first game in this stadium before 9/11, close with the mayor, Tisch family. And, you know, they found a little spark with that quarterback. I was talking to John Mayer not too long ago, and I said we were hoping that change would have happened long after our game. But anyway, any other questions?
Sean, to your right.
So you're very much under the "what have you done for me lately" thing in taking away the first, decade of his career.
Absolutely, and I just don't think he's done himself any favors since he left Seattle, and I don't know, how's it going to get better? I don't know. So
I agree. I agree. I think you got to judge his career off when the Legion of Boom was there. He had a legendary defense, an all-time defense, and how much success he had. And then without that legendary defense, the success he had. Without that legendary defense, he's been 4-11, 7-8. 0-3 to start with the Giants. He was a winning football player in Seattle, and people said, hey, winning is football player, all this good stuff, all these accolades, and now you get to go on your own and you get to prove, hey, I'm this great quarterback, I'm this guy that's going to be dominant, and it just hasn't worked out that way.
Okay, so those were the comments leveled at Russ recently, but if you go back in the past couple years, you'll find a ton of comments, and a lot of them coming from past teammates like Doug Baldwin, Marshawn Lynch, Michael Robinson, and others. But Russ's relationship with his former Broncos head coach Sean Payton has always been pretty frosty. Payton had called out Russ publicly and even scolded him on the sidelines, which is pretty much unheard of as a franchise quarterback. Anyways, this was Russ's response today to Sean Payton's recent post-game comments. And if I'm going to be honest, he actually broke character as he tweeted, "Classless, but not surprised. Didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 plus years later through the media. Let's ride." Okay, honestly, I love this Russ. I love that he's finally speaking, and I hope he does it more. Obviously, some are still going to come at him, and justifiably, over his performances as of late, but I think Russ really needs to stand up for himself because the slander that has been coming his way has been way too much and uncalled for. And I wouldn't mind seeing him going at former teammates like Richard Sherman next time he decides to open his mouth. I mean, a man can only take so much slander until he finally speaks up. Sherman has been going on a non-stop hate campaign against his former quarterback, but let's not forget the Legion of Boom ended in 2018, and Russ picked up that franchise and led them consistently to the playoffs and was a top 5 QB during his later years in Seattle. I recall just a few years ago, he was rated number 2 in the NFL Top 100, a poll that is voted on by his peers. So let's not forget who Russell Wilson is when you decide to speak on his name. Anyways, what do you all think about Russ and his public response to Sean Payton?